Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. You join me down at the storage yard yet again, and we're going to be doing another replacement fix, and that is to the Truma water inlet. The sun has beaten down on it for over 7 years now. It's got brittle and it's broken, so we're going to show you how you can replace this and tackle it yourself. It's quite an easy job and it doesn't cost the earth. So let's show you what tools and equipment we're going to need in order to do this fix. So in order to do this repair or replacement, we're going to need the following items. We've got some Sikaflex 522, some isopropyl alcohol, we've got our silicone gun, we've got my trusty plastic razor blade scraper, and I've two different size screwdrivers because I'm not sure which one will fit. And we've got some multi-purpose silicone sealant remover, which is very key for this job. So let's take a look at the item that I've bought to replace the broken one we've got on the side of the Caravan. So this is the Ultraflow. It says winter kit and compact housing. We'll talk about that more in a moment. It's the TR46030 and it's the correct one to replace on my Caravan. Now it says on the box £39.95. I paid 36 quid for it because at my local dealer I do get a little bit of discount for being a loyalty member. They're round about the same price actually, no matter where you go, around about 35-36 quid. So let's see what's in the box. So first of all, we have a little instruction manual and it shows you how it works. Now there's a key component. I'll just try and lift this up so it focuses in there. See that plug there? Well, guess what? It ain't in this kit. I'll show you what we get. We get a set of 4 screws, and they're crosshead screws. And the next thing we get is the actual housing unit itself. Now you open it up, and as you can see, there's where you plug in your adapter for your hose or for your water pump system. Now that's it in a nutshell. There's nothing else to it. It's very straightforward, but I don't have the plug with mine, so mine isn't really a winter kit. Okay, so this is the broken one. Now I'll show you in more detail after I've taken it off, but basically the hinge on this part has broken from the flap itself, so it has to be replaced. So I'm just going to undo the 4 screws, get them off. And I can notice straight away that they've inserted some Sikaflex in the screw holes, so we'll be repeating that when we do ours in a moment. These screws are easy to get off. It's a bit concerning, especially that one. Right. One more. Okay, so we've taken all the screws out. Obviously it won't come out. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm actually going to use some of my multi-purpose, when I can get it off, there we go, silicone seal remover, and I'm going to put it as far behind the seal as I possibly can. I'm getting that to soften up. Now it's going to take a while to do its job, this, so I'll fast forward in a minute for you so you can see me as I take it off. Now I can't get at the top because the plate's in the way, so I'll just keep doing this until we've got enough in that I'm happy with. And then we're going to do some more steps inside the Caravan, which I'm going to show you. Okay, so we'll let that do its job for a while. We may need to use it again. But let's take a look at the jobs we need to do before we even tackle to remove this. So first things first, if you haven't already drained down your system, make sure that it's flush, the flush is open, and reduces all the water out of the piping system. As you can see, we've got an elbow section here, and that, where my finger is, needs to be depressed this way so that it can be released from the actual housing itself. So I'm going to try that now off camera, and I'll come back to you in a moment. So the silicone sealer started to do some work. What I've done is, be careful if you're doing this, I've actually got a screwdriver behind it, and I managed to break the seal off it. So I'm hoping that with a little bit of, there we go, that's removed. So now what we have to do is remove this sealant. Now this is a foam one, which was obviously on it when it was purchased, but it seems not to be anymore, like I said. So I need to put some more silicone sealant softener on this so that we can remove it, and then we'll take the scraper and scrape off the residue. So it's actually starting to do its job, but I think we'll need it on for a bit longer. Just get the main one off first of all. There we go. Now we can reapply so that we can clean this up, because it is a bit of a mess. And again, using one of these plastic scrapers, I think they're a really good idea, these, because they don't damage the van when you're scraping off like so. So I'll do this off camera and I'll come back to you. So I've managed to get all the stickiness off. There's a little bit there which I'll tackle in a minute, but that was a pig to get off. It left like a plastic coating over the top, which is good when it's on, but when you're trying to take it off, it's a nightmare. So it took a good 20 minutes to remove all the stickiness from this. I've wiped it over with some isopropyl alcohol and cleaned the area. I'm just letting that dry off and evaporate, and then we're going to fit our new one. Okay, so we're going to apply the adhesive for now from the Sikaflex. Confession time, Phil come all the way down to the storage yard and forgot one of his nozzles, so it's going to be a bit messy this. You'll be using a nozzle, of course, so let's do that now. So this is going to be a little messy, but I'm hoping that it'll give it extra sealant with it being so thick. So we'll sort that out now. You'll have to forgive the noise in the background. One of the people that's on site is using a circular saw. So I'm going to line up this as best as I can. Press it firmly into place. So last screw in now. Right, so what I'm going to do is just take a little bit of isopropyl alcohol and clean round it. Make sure we've got a nice smooth edge on the Sikaflex. And when we're happy with that, we can let it go off and put the pipe back on. So now it's secure, we can put back our feeder pipe, pushing on like so. Just check to make sure it's fitted properly and it's not going to pull off. So what failed? Well, it was this hinge here, and it's on this section rather than the lid section, because you can buy replacement lids for these, but they're a pig to get on, I understand. So in our case, it's gone on the main body, which is the crucial part, and it's gone very brittle and very chalky, and that's due to the wind, the rain and the sun over a period of time, drying it out, wetting it through, and it's just perished basically. Is there a fix for this? Not really. It's a difficult plastic to actually weld or glue, and with it being a working part, it'll only snap again. So the only solution for it was to replace it, and hopefully I'll get another 7.5 years out of the next one. Just to clarify something, the replacement that I've bought actually has 2 copper tangs here and here. Now they are for a wiring system on the 12 volt to use with a shower hose for sprinkling and washing down your dog. Now I didn't need those. Now on the actual Truma adapters, those tangs are on there, so it fits perfectly, but because I've got an actual whale version, the tangs are on it for some reason. So what I've had to do on the one that I've added is snap the 2 tangs off so it fits properly. So if you've got a Truma and you've replaced it with this particular one, because it's a universal one, snap the 2 tangs off because you don't need them, because it doesn't require power unless you're using a dog shower. Well folks, that's how I replaced the Truma water inlet housing. Let's talk about a couple of issues that I highlighted at the beginning of the video. The first thing I said was there was no gasket seal, and it would be nice if it was there, and it would have made life a lot easier, to be fair. So I contacted the dealer I purchased it from, and they said they've looked at all the other stock that they've got in and none of them have this gasket seal. So it may be something that Truma themselves have stopped supplying in the kit. The winter plug, yes, that was missing. I did mention that to the dealer. They apologised. They've set one on one side for me, and I can go and collect it another day, and I can use that during the winter months. So I'm pleased about that. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, which was Phil forgetting to bring a nozzle for his silicone. Well, in the end, I think that turned out quite well because, and I'll say this quite honestly, because without that gasket, I needed a big clump, if you will, all the way around in order to get a good seal and also to get a good bond as well. So I'm really happy with the results. It did need a little bit of tidying up on the edges, but once I got that clean and tidy, I was pleased with it. Now, this will take you probably a morning or an afternoon to do if you've never done anything like this before. If you're quite a dab hand at it, then in that case, it'll probably take you less than an hour to do. Remember to drain off the system before you do it as well, and also give it a good clean before you before you actually adhere the new one in. Well folks, I hope this is something that's inspired you to have a go at, and I will see you in the next video, but in the meantime, bye for now.